word began to filter down the line that we were on the move in the reverse direction. At first we found it difficult to believe, but sure enough, we soon found ourselves recrossing the Marne, and we were on the advance again. Well, the revulsion of feeling is impossible to describe. From being tired, worn out, demoralized creatures, we became what we were intended to be, trained soldiers with the enemy in view, and off we went.
The happiest day of my life. We marched towards the rising sun, wrote a British officer. It was September the 6th, 1914. General Joffre issued an order of the day to his armies.
The moment has passed for looking to the rear. All our efforts must be directed to attacking and driving back the enemy. Troops who can advance no further must at any price hold on to the ground they have conquered and die on the spot rather than give way. Under the circumstances which face us, no act of weakness can be tolerated.
Slowly, the pendulum started its counterswing. The Germans resisted strongly. North of Paris, General Monory's army was heavily counterattacked and in danger of defeat. General Gallieni, military governor of Paris, rushed forward reinforcements in taxicabs, the taxis of the Marne. The men they carried just sufficed to prevent a collapse. But the center was the vital area. Here, the French Fifth Army and the BEF thrust forward into the widening gap between the armies of von Kluck and von Bülow. Reluctantly at first, but each day more certainly, the Germans gave way. On September the 11th, Joffre telegraphed to the Minister of War,
"The Battle of the Marne is an incontestable victory for us."
And now, as the Allies reaped the rewards of victory, new hopes surged up in men who had faced the abjectness of defeat. Could the Germans be hustled back to the frontier, out of the rich provinces of France which they had overrun? Could the Allies stage a swift and shattering pursuit, back to the Rhine in 3 weeks, perhaps? Optimism spread its wings. General Sir Henry Wilson compared notes with an officer of Joffre's staff.
Berthelot asked me when I thought we should cross into Germany, and I replied that unless we made some serious blunder, we ought to be at Elsenborn in 4 weeks. He thought 3 weeks.
Vitesse, vitesse, urged General Foch. En avant, soldats, pour la France, cried General Franchet d'Espèré. But General Haig, commanding the British First Corps, remarked,
"I thought our movements very slow today, in view of the fact that the enemy is on the run."
The movements were too slow. Broken bridges, tiredness, overcaution, brave fighting by German rearguards, all combined to slow the Allied advance. On September the 13th, Haig's corps reached the River Aisne and pushed up along the wooded spurs of the Chemin des Dames ridge, the Ladies' Road, running along the heights beside the river from Soissons. They were just 2 hours too late. A German army corps, released by the fall of Maubeuge, marched 40 miles in 24 hours, with a quarter of its infantry falling out on the way, and arrived in the nick of time to block the British advance. The Germans dug in hastily along the Chemin des Dames ridge. The British were unable to dislodge them and dug in also. The French did the same in their turn. The beginnings of trench warfare were now seen. On September the 16th, Joffre told his army commanders,
It seems as if the enemy is once more going to accept battle in prepared positions north of the Aisne. In consequence, it is no longer a question of pursuit, but of methodical attack.
Every attack was halted. The Germans counterattacked to throw the Allies into the Aisne. They also failed. Losses mounted on both sides. At the end of the month, General Haig said,
In front of this corps and for many miles on either side, affairs have reached a deadlock, and no decision seems possible in this area.
Joffre had already reached this conclusion. So had the German High Command.